In a significant development, US President Joe Biden announced that the United States will unveil a substantial package of sanctions against Russia on Friday. These sanctions are in response to the recent death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. While addressing reporters before departing on a trip to California, President Biden did not provide specific details about the upcoming sanctions. However, White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan outlined that the measures will target various aspects of Russia's infrastructure, including defense and industrial bases, as well as key sources of revenue for the country's economy. The primary goal of these sanctions, according to White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby, is to hold Russia accountable for the events surrounding Navalny's death and its actions during the 2-year war in Ukraine. Kirby stated that the sanctions package, originally planned to mark the second anniversary of the conflict, will now be reconsidered and expanded in response to Navalny's tragic passing. Treasury Under-Secretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence Brian Nelson is currently on a trip to Europe, engaging in discussions about the sanctions related to Navalny's death. Sources familiar with the matter have revealed that Nelson's talks include visits to Germany, Belgium, and France. In addition to addressing Navalny's death, Nelson is exploring Washington's authority to target individuals funding Russia's war production efforts, even if located in third countries. The Treasury emphasized the US's determination to aggressively pursue those attempting to evade the imposed sanctions. The United States had previously implemented a range of sanctions related to Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, targeting Russian President Vladimir Putin, officials, and banks. Sanctions were also imposed in response to the poisoning and imprisonment of Navalny back in 2020, focusing on individuals associated with Russia's Federal Security Service or FSB and other officials. Navalny, who was a prominent critic of President Putin, tragically passed away on Friday after falling unconscious at the Polar Wolf Penal Colony. The United States is urging Russia to provide complete transparency on the circumstances surrounding Navalny's death. President Biden has directly placed blame on Russian President Vladimir Putin and the Russian government. Despite the US Embassy in Moscow seeking more information about Navalny's death, John Kirby expressed difficulty in obtaining credible details from Russian authorities. He emphasized that whatever story the Russian government decides to tell the world, it's clear that President Putin and his government were responsible for Navalny's death. As tensions escalate, the world awaits the unveiling of the comprehensive sanctions package on Friday, as the United States takes a firm stand against Russia in response to the tragic events surrounding Navalny's death and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.